The Vincent DiFilippo Nature Preserve is already a treasured resource in Silver Spring Township. People from all over the area come here to enjoy nature walks, take in scenic views, observe wildlife and birds, or launch their kayak into the Connedaguinet Creek. Now, several projects are underway to make this treasure even better. Better for people. Better for wildlife and fish. Better for the environment. And better for the community. In early May, the new bridge over the Connedaguinet Creek for Sample Bridge Road opened to the public with a raised walkway and new sidewalk, making it much easier to get into the nature preserve. Later this summer, when the creek is at low flow conditions, a contractor will expand the parking area utilizing pervious pavers and construct a new boat launch. Both facilities will have enhanced ADA accessibility so that the trail and creek can be enjoyed by all, and the boat launch will serve as a new, safe, and stable access point for the Connedaguinet Creek Water Trail. Currently, the water trail has no access point in the 6.5-mile stretch between Willow Mill Park and Hidden Creek Park, making it the longest stretch of the entire trail. Adding a new access point at the Nature Preserve will cut 2.1 miles from this stretch, bringing it in line with other water trail segments and potentially attracting more users. Trees will be planted in pockets along the western trail to increase shade for walkers and provide additional wildlife habitat. Visitors can also look forward to an enhanced birdwatching and wildlife viewing experience over time, as native plantings, wetland improvements, and riparian buffer enhance habitats for creatures big and small. All of the varied landscapes provide wide-ranging experiences for the people visiting the nature preserve, but they also enhance the experience for the wildlife who live here. New riparian buffers will provide a home for all sorts of woodland creatures. Invasive plants will be removed and replaced with native flora in the meadows to sustain rabbits and birds. Show your flowers near the entrance will benefit insects and pollinators, while improvements to the wetland areas, creeks, and ponds will strengthen turtle and amphibian populations. New stream restoration, bioswales, and native vegetation will reduce the amount of sediment and pollutants entering the Connedaguinet Creek. Soil and native plants in the bioswale will reduce the amounts of stormwater reaching the creek and filter out chemicals and debris. The new riparian buffer will also filter nutrients and sediment from the stormwater and provide shade, shelter, and food for the fish. Many local groups will benefit from the improvements being made to the nature preserve. Schools will be able to provide hands-on environmental education opportunities to students of all ages, thanks to educational signage that will be posted throughout the park, and an expanded parking area that can now accommodate school buses. Master watershed stewards will be able to study the changes in flora and fauna in the preserve over time, in order to measure the real-world impact of stream restoration, native vegetation conversions, and other water quality projects being built. And the Connedaguinet Creek Watershed Association will have a better access point for their creek cleanups once the boat launch is completed. Best of all, these benefits come at a reduced cost to township residents. Through careful planning, the township was able to obtain more than $252,000 in grants, which covers roughly 43% of the project costs. Local leaders turned a challenge from regulators to improve water quality into an opportunity to enhance recreation for the people who live in and around Silver Spring Township, to improve water quality for life and creatures that live in the nature preserve, and protect our precious environmental resources for years to come.